Bad news for Vanuatu. The EU now is seeking to suspend visa-free travel with Vanuatu over the Golden Visa Scheme. This is really bad news for them. The EU's putting a lot of pressure on Vanuatu now. What they're stating, this article, like I said, just came out a few hours ago. The European Commission has postponed a suspension of visa-free travel agreement with the Pacific island or country of Vanuatu because of the nation's scheme offering passports to rich foreigners. Also, folks, if you want to legally get your income taxes to zero or how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen right here and you get new videos automatically as they come out. And I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. Okay, now the proposal was announced on Wednesday local time, and if it's backed by the EU states, it will be the first time that the European Union has imposed sanctions on a country for running a golden passport scheme. Now, the Commission has repeatedly warned the scheme could pose security and money laundering threats. That's a bunch of bull. It's just tax competition. They can't deal with it. But the scheme allows foreigners to obtain Vanuatu citizenship and in turn visa-free access to the EU. And the European Commission warns the agreement could pose security and money laundering threats. And they're also saying too that the Commission has proposed suspending visa-free travel for all holders of the Vanuatu passport. Now the Commission has concluded that Vanuatu's investor citizenship scheme presently has serious deficiencies and security failures, it stated in its statement. Now, under the scheme, foreigners can obtain the Vanuatu citizenship and a passport in exchange for a minimum investment of around $130,000 US. That in turn gives them visa-free access to the EU under a visa waiver program that the country has with the 27-nation bloc. Now, it went on to say that the lucrative cash for passport scheme helped keep Vanuatu's economy afloat when the pandemic hit and the country's tourism industry was on its knees. Now, in 2020, the citizenship program accounted for 35% of the government's revenue. Approved Vanuatu citizenship agent Catherine Baudier said suspending visa-free travel to the EU would have a huge impact on citizenship sales there in Vanuatu. Now, a lot of the citizenship inquiries on why the clients have been contacting us, she stated, is because of the travel to Europe. She said, personally, I think it's very serious. Vanuatu's Business Resilience Council Chair Glenn Craig said the effects of Vanuatu's economy would have immediate effect and have a drastic effect on the economy. Especially in COVID times, the Vanuatu economy is almost solely being propped up by the citizenship program. And he went on to say for the EU to be looking at such a suspension right now in a fragile, small South Pacific country on the grounds that they've given, they think it's pretty poor form. Mr. Craig said that suspending the visa-free travel arrangement would impact on local services like health, education, and governance. And he went on to state that, he says, if I was in the Finance and Economic Management Department of the government, I'd be pretty stressed out right now about, how they're going to be able to afford for doctors, nurses, and keep hospitals open. I mean, this is really going to affect the economy here if this gets passed. The Commission has proposed suspending visa-free travel for all holders of Vanuatu passports released since May 2015, which is when the investor program started to operate, in the country. Now, the moratorium would be lifted if a program was properly amended. So, evidently, they're going to get them to try to change their laws and get stricter. I guess on money laundering and things like this, because they went on to say here that the EU executive said the scheme was risky because it essentially accepted all applicants and did not sufficiently screen them, despite some appearing on Interpol's security databases. That's pretty slack when they've got people, evidently they're not doing a very good, checks on background checks and stuff. Tess Newton-Kane, the project lead at the Pacific Hub for the Griffith Asia Institute, said that one issue the Commission had raised was that citizens from countries that were not granted visas into the EU were using these Vanuatu passports to enter instead. Now, they seem to have a concern that these passports, the Vanuatu passports, are allowing people to do an end run around the process that they would otherwise they wouldn't be able to get around. And Vanuatu's embassy in Brussels was not immediately available for comment on this, but the Commission said it was monitoring countries with visa-free access to the EU, which were effectively operate or planning to set up an investor citizenship scheme, including the Caribbean and Pacific Islands and Eastern European states, Montenegro, Albania, Moldova. They're trying to look at all of them, okay? This is incredible. Most EU states have their own schemes offering passports or visas to wealthy foreigners, but the Commission considers most of them in line with the EU rules. In other words, you got to go by what Big Daddy says, or man, they throw all these blacklists and sanctions on you. And they said that, I'll just read this out to you again. It says that most EU states have their own schemes offering passports or visas to wealthy foreigners, but the Commission considers most of them in line with EU rules, with the exception of programs set up by Cyprus and Malta. Now, both states are facing legal challenges from Brussels, which require them to change the programs or stop running them to avoid the risk of a fine. I mean, this is the type of stuff that they're trying to do, and I think you're going to see the EU put more and more pressure. They're losing a lot of tax dollars to these countries, people getting these second passports, because there are ways you can legally get your taxes to zero. Folks, get a piece of the pie while you can, because these guys are going to be hitting on everything. If you want to learn more on this, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com. Hit the top bar that says Apply with Us, fill out the questions. Hit that bottom bar that says Send it to us. We deal with over 100 citizenship by investment, residency by investment countries all over the world. And that's why you need to look at stuff like this to stay abreast on it. We've got over 600 videos you can look at that are free videos. And if you hit the subscribe button at the right of your screen, you'll get these new videos automatically and hit that notification bell. And I would like to hear from you if you got a question or comment, and I'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.